Hello. Hi, good morning. Can you hear me? I'm not hearing you.
I was on mute. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Right. Okay. All right. So let's just get into it real quick. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining our live session this morning. Hope everyone is doing awesome. We have our wonderful guest from Stirling University, Amy. Please, Amy, can you introduce yourself, and just tell us a little bit about Stirling University?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. I'm Amy. I work at the International Study Centre at the University of Stirling. The University of Stirling is located in Scotland, so up north in the UK. But it is, yeah, a wonderful, I'm very biased, I'll say it's a wonderful place. I studied here myself quite a while ago now, but I did my full undergraduate degree and my master's at the university. I came from the US, so I was an international student, came to the university, absolutely loved my time here, loved the city of Stirling, I love being in Scotland, so was able to stay and work. And now I look after kind of all the students that are looking to come and join us, either through the international students here or directly to the university. Now, I'm not sure if Emmanuel has been able to join, but I know Emmanuel is here as well from the study center. So
Yes.
he'll be able to introduce himself as well. Yeah, here he is.
Oh, hi, Emmanuel.
Hi, hello, good afternoon, good morning.
Good
Um,
afternoon.
yeah, sorry, I was running late. So my name is Emmanuel, and I'm a student here at Stirling University. I study software engineering for industrial placement, which we'll get into later. But I also teach here at the center, the International Study Center.
That's wonderful. So I'm sure our guests would love to hear all about your experiences so far studying at the University of Stirling. So please, for our audience, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask, please hold them off, or you can drop them in the comment section, and we will proceed. So Amy, please, I know that you have a lot of information to give us about the University of Stirling, and we are more than eager to listen to all the offerings that you have to give to us. So please take it away.
Absolutely. I'm going to try to present because I do have a presentation screen here. Let me see. Hopefully you can see that. Hold on, actually. Let me see if I can get just the presentation up. Hold on. Because it's my first time on this platform, apologies. It's a bit clunky on my end, but I do have a presentation I can upload, and I think I can share it from there. Let me see. Nope, it's too big. Okay, well, that's fine. Let me try sharing again.
Okay.
Okay, hopefully you can see that now.
It's yet to show up on my screen. Okay, yes, it's loading.
Okay. Okay, I think this is not the one I was trying to show, but this will work. We can make this one work. It's supposed to have Emmanuel's name on there as well, so I think it's just the old version, but that's okay. Information except for presenting.
Okay, this one says refresher training on it.
Yeah, that's no problem. Okay.
Okay.
Let me get started with Scotland. So if you're not familiar with Scotland, it is a beautiful part of the world. We are known for our education system. We have had universities run a 4-year degree, which is actually the system that the US and France have taken on. So we have 4-year undergraduate degrees. So we have been world leading for quite some time in terms of our education systems. We also have high quality research. We're known for all of those things have been developed in Scotland in our history, and that continues today. That kind of innovative mentality is very part of the Scottish culture. We offer those flexible courses. I think because we have that 4-year undergraduate degree, it does allow for some flexibility, especially when you're looking at the International Study Centre, looking at different pathways. We've got a lot of different options that you can consider. We are very friendly and welcoming, particularly Scotland. In the UK, we are welcoming to international students, but Scotland, I think in particular, is extra welcoming. We're known for our friendly personality. I was told very early on when I arrived here that people would, if you ask and stop someone won't just tell you where to go. Sometimes they will like walk with you to make sure you get to where you need to go. So very friendly and very welcoming. And here at Stirling, we really pride ourselves in our strong student support. So within the centre, we have our own support and welfare team, but in the university, we also have all of that. So it's something that we take very seriously, and we're very good at looking after our students here at Stirling. So 10 reasons why to study at Stirling. Well, first off, it's a place where international students are happy. So 93% of our international students were happy with life at the University of Stirling, according to our Into student survey. 94% satisfaction with off-campus surroundings. So that's the city itself. Top 10 happiest place to live in the UK, happiest place to live in Scotland. So it is a very nice place to be. You can see that from our campus photo there on the presentation. Very beautiful place, and the city itself is got everything that you need. So unbeatable location. So Stirling is known as the heart of Scotland, kind of right in the middle, situated between Glasgow and Edinburgh. Glasgow is our biggest city in the UK, and Edinburgh is the second biggest city. So our kind of two major cities where you probably have heard either Glasgow or Edinburgh, usually Edinburgh because it's our capital. We're less than an hour to both major cities, so we're right in between, but we're also kind of the doorstep to the Scottish Highlands. So I think a lot of people, when they think of Scotland, they think of all the green hills, the lakes, the very beautiful scenery. That's all on our doorstep as well. So Loch Ness Monster, the Harry Potter train, those kind of things, castle country, that's all within our Stirling. So we're kind of perfectly situated to have the best of both, the city life and that beautiful scenery that Scotland is known for. It's a place where students are safe, so 98% of our students feel safe on campus. We're also the #1 safest student city in the UK. We have different things like safe taxi schemes, we have 24-hour campus security, but you can see there that is our kind of main campus. We also have accommodation located on campus, and our city centre is only about 1.5 miles really away from the campus. So everyone is looking out for the students, and everyone is very much focused on having a nice, safe community for everyone. So we're actually first in the UK and top 10 in the world for our campus environment. The other thing that we're very well known for is our sports. So we are Scotland's University for Sporting Excellence. We have a 94% satisfaction for our sports facilities. We've actually had a multi-million pound development with our sports facilities. So our gym itself and kind of our weights room, all of our locker rooms, things like that have all been redone. So all brand new, just a few years old, very fancy, but also top end equipment that we have access to. So our kind of social side of things, club societies, sports teams, 96% satisfaction from our students. One thing to note, if you're coming to, we say into students. We use that a little interchangeably with the International Studies Centre. We are working in partnership with Into. So Into is the kind of main company, but the International Studies Centre refers to the actual kind of company working on campus. But that's why we say Into students. So students that are coming to do a foundation, a pre-masters, anything like that with the International Study Centre would get their free gym membership. And then once you progress onto the university itself, it's a small fee for students to use the gym facilities. So number 4 is a place where students are supported. I mentioned this earlier, we are really dedicated to looking after our students. So we're the #1 UK centre from Into for student satisfaction, 96% support satisfaction, and 92% feel locals were welcoming to the international students. So this is our building here. This is the actual International Study Centre. So this is where I'm sitting right now. This is where students would take classes. We've got a restaurant cafe there. All of our staff work in there as well. So exceptional value for money. So we are very competitive. We do look to have reasonable fees, though education in the UK is always pricey, very, very high in the value, I would say. But we try to make things as affordable as possible. So we do have generous scholarships available for students, especially when they progress from the study centre onto the university. So at the moment, our pathway fees for anyone looking to join us in January, which is our next intake, is about £16,500 up to just under £19,000. It really depends what you're doing and what course. So yeah, what course you're coming on and how long you're studying with us. It is a separate price point for anything that you then go on to do with the university. So if you're doing a pathway with us and then you progress onto the university, those fees for this year range about £18,500 to £22,500 per year, just under those. And postgraduate degrees are a little bit more expensive at £20,600 and just under £23,000. Now, those prices for undergraduate and postgraduate degrees, when you go on and progress, they do change year from year. So if you're looking at a further away entry point, maybe in a year and a half's time, definitely worth checking the university website because those fees can change and they do tend to increase and fluctuate a little bit. But as I said, we do try to support our students as much as we can to make things affordable. So we do have scholarships that range from about £2,500 a year up to £7,000 a year for some of our postgraduate students. So it's difficult to say how much to expect, but our website has a bit more information. It's very nuanced depending on what you're doing, what your grades are, things like that. Just to go back, not to go back, but just to continue on that theme of affordability, Stirling is known for its really affordable living costs. So the city itself, because of where it's located, it is a lot more affordable than some of the other cities. So if you look at just Edinburgh and Glasgow, which are two big cities here in Scotland, rent in Stirling is 43% lower than Edinburgh and 31% lower than Glasgow. I think it's always like a little shocking when we look at London. A lot of the students I speak to, they're really wanting to go to London. It's what they're familiar with. It's a very expensive city, being the capital for all of the UK. So Stirling is actually 70% lower than living in London. So a very affordable option in terms of life outside of just your costs for studying. So the city itself is pretty affordable. We do have buses, trains, and public transportation that runs very regularly from the city. We've got options as well for youth rail cards. So anyone coming that is an undergraduate student under the age of 22 can apply for a bus pass. We have rail card discounts as well that you can get. So we do try to make things affordable, and students do get discounts as well on a lot of places, a lot of online shopping, a lot of places in store. You can use your student card to get discounts. So other reasons why people love our centre is our choice and flexibility. So we are very flexible in what we can offer. So we have our International Foundation, which is what you would do before you start your undergraduate degree. But we actually have 55 different routes where you can have an integrated study plan. So you would do your foundation and then immediately go into your university degree. We have 55 different options for that integrated plan. And it is the most number of, I think that comes up there, we go. It's the highest number of integrated programs that we have across the Into network. So we have the most flexibility on offer in terms of those integrated programs. We refer to them as ICAS. So we also offer International Year 2. So in Scotland, we have the 4-year undergraduate degree. If you're doing International Foundation, you'll do a foundation and then 3 years of the remainder of your degree. If you're doing International Year 2, though, you do get advanced entry. So we have 20 different integrated degrees available, so 20 options to do 1 year with your International Year 2 foundation, and then you do 2 years of your undergraduate degree. Also an ICAS, so you would have one visa for both of those options. And then with our pre-masters, we have 27 ICAS available. So again, you would do your study with the International Study Centre before you came to the university, and we have 27 different degree options. So we do have different terms that you can do, depends on your a lot of different things. I would say it mostly depends on your academic background and English language. So just looking at more flexible routes in, the International Foundation ICAS, as I mentioned, this is where you have your 1 year with the university, and then you go 2 years, 3 years, 4 years with the university. So we offer these in business, finance, sports, psychology, film and media, AI, computer science, social sciences, economics. This is just a breakdown of all of those subjects. So one thing I think is important to mention is we actually have this for nursing as well. So we see a lot of students that are interested in our nursing. So you can do 1 year with the university, sorry, I keep saying the university, 1 year with the International Study Centre, and then you can go on and then study the full degree with the university. So depending on if you want an honours degree or if you just want the bachelor's degree, you can do nursing in either 4 years or 5 years with the foundation in nursing. But you can see there, we've got a lot of different subjects. And as I said, there's 55 different ICAS options where you can come on one visa. So year 2, this is where you only need to do 1 year with the International Study Centre, and then you do 2 years with the university. So a really fast-tracked route in Scotland to get your degree in 3 years. We offer this in less options, so the 20 different programs that we have that ICAS with. So we have those in business, computing, sports, and exercise science, management, and finance as our main subjects. So again, here, this is more of the full list. And so we are always trying to expand how many options we have because we know it's very popular. And so we are looking at having kind of economics and sport. But again, if you're looking in the future, always worth checking out our website or getting in touch with the team because we're always trying to develop and create more and more opportunities to have that advanced 3-year degree. So looking at pre-masters, so if anybody is looking at a master's, we offer this again at different entry points. So we have 1 term, 3 term, and 4 terms. We do have those 25 progression routes where you can come on your ICAS. Usually it's 3 months that students will study their pre-masters and then continue into their masters. If you are looking at the 1 term though, we do have a higher entry point in terms of entry requirements, but we do have opportunities to have a potential work placement with that. If anyone is looking at a master's and you maybe haven't finished an undergraduate degree or you didn't do an undergraduate degree, let us know what your academic history is, but also let us know your work experience because the work experience can be considered in lieu of an undergraduate degree. So some students that come to see us and study with us actually haven't done an undergraduate degree, but they have so much relevant experience that they're able to then transition and to do their master's. So number 7 is our quality of teaching. So we actually compete with the top universities. If anyone's familiar with the Russell groups, they're very prestigious, very admirable in their history in the education world. But actually, we outperform 20 different Russell groups in the UK for our teaching quality. We're also outperforming 15 Russell groups for our teaching satisfaction. So students that come and teach are taught by us here at Stirling actually feel that we have a better quality of teaching and the students are more happy with the courses and the teaching that they receive at Stirling than the students say they have at Russell Groups. So that's a big achievement for us. We also have different options. So going back to that theme of flexibility, a lot of our students do choose to stay at Stirling. They come to the study centre, they progress onto Stirling, either with their ICAS, where they've come to do their whole study plan with one visa, or they come and just do that foundation with the study centre. This is what we call choice. So we have students that maybe come and do just their pre-masters, or they come and do a foundation. Sometimes students, in particular, if they're looking at engineering, they might not have the right program at Stirling, so they can go to one of our kind of preferred partners. So with choice universities, we've got them listed here. You can go to another Scottish university that will recognise your studies that you've done at the international studies. So an into qualification, your foundation or your pre-masters potentially then can lead to opportunities to study at Strathclyde, Dundee, Edinburgh Napier, Aberdeen, University of Edinburgh, Abertay University, Queen Margaret University, Heriot Watt, University of West of Scotland, or Glasgow Caledonian University. So it really opens a lot of different pathways to the rest of Scotland. So number 8, it's a place where students succeed. So from our kind of from the past 10 years, our pass rates have been pretty incredible. But in the last year, 94% of our students passed their program with us. 96% were eligible to progress to the University of Stirling. So they had grades and offers to study at Stirling, not looking at any other universities. And 90% of our students also achieved a first, what we call a 2-1 or 2-2, which means they had great grades at the university. So really high performing students because they got their start with us and then they've gone on. So number 9 is a place with exceptional employment outcomes. So we have a very dedicated careers team here, and they have opportunities for you to engage with them from before you even start. They have Target Connect where you can look for part-time jobs. They do different fairs and support. So you can look at part-time job fairs, graduate route fairs, lots of different things that they do to support our students. So 96% of graduates were employment or further study 15 months after graduation. We do have a network with our alumni team as well that tries to connect students that have graduated that are for international students and try to connect them with someone in their home country to help nurture them through finding that career after they leave Stirling. So we do see that students have good earning potential once they've graduated with us as well. So on average, graduates from Stirling, 15 months after graduation, were earning £30,000 a year if in finance and investment analysis. Programmers, software development, they were earning on average £28,000 15 months after graduating. There is a website where you can go and look at this, and you can see here we've got different jobs there, what kind of roles. And that's a really interesting tool to see what the average employer is paying for different jobs in the UK. We do see students get part-time work. So we do have a shopping mall in the city centre. We're also a very popular tourist destination. So there's lots of different little shops, cafes, restaurant, bars. But on campus itself, we have different places that students will tend to work. And so we have different food outlets, the sports centre, a hotel as well. So students will get jobs such as working to prepare food. And some of them will be baristas making the coffee, and some students working behind the bar. Lots of different things going on campus. But we do have quite a healthy number of part-time jobs in the surrounding area. Students do get paid the living wage, so it is a good wage that you get per hour. And with your student visa, you can work 20 hours per week alongside your studies. So finally, number 10, Stirling is really a place where international students belong. So we do have number 1 in the UK for both making friends from other countries and for our host culture. So we have had hundreds of students now come through the International Study Centre, and we have a lot of students that were extremely happy with their time here. obviously, I said at the start I was very happy with the time here, and I'm still working here as well. I do have a student testimonial here, but I'm going to move on because we've got Emmanuel here who can talk about his time. But I'll just end it there. We've got our website, which is stirisc.com. I would say definitely have a look, and we'll be able to take some questions. But I'll pass it back, and we've got time for Emmanuel to share his experience.
Thank you so much for the presentation. I'm not sure if you can still hear me.
Yes, I can.
Okay, all right. Thank you, because the network keeps coming in and going out, so I wasn't sure.
No, we're good.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. That was so much information, and I know that it's going to be very useful for our audience and as well as students that would, are looking to come to Stirling University. So, I mean, Emmanuel, please, if you're still with us, we would love to hear your experience as an alumni, still a student, and as a lecturer as well. Please just give us insight as to how you're able to, navigate all of this.
Okay, thank you so much. And Amy, thank you for the presentation. So for me, yeah, I obviously studied here, and after studying here, I studied here for about a year. So I moved on to the university, and I think studying here was a huge advantage for me because there are certain things you wouldn't do at the university that you would do here. First of all, you take more courses here than you do at the university, and they actually teach you certain soft skills that the university wouldn't teach you as a first year student. And so, yeah, transitioning from here, I went on to the university straight to second year. And after my second year, I went to third year. Then I went for a placement. I study software engineering, so I went for a placement at a company named Morgan Stanley. It might not be very popular in Nigeria, but it's a huge investment bank over here. So I interned at Morgan Stanley for a whole year. And that's a good thing as well about Stirling University. They help you find those placements. Although I found this one myself, but they actually support you when you're trying to find placements. They support you with your CVs and LinkedIn and all of those things. They just let you know things that appeal to employers and whatnot. So I interned at Morgan Stanley for a year. And after interning at Morgan Stanley, I went on to JP Morgan, both as software engineers. I went on to JP Morgan, interned there as well, gained a huge wealth of industry experience. And after the placement and the internship, I came back to uni, final year now. It's like my fifth year. Yeah, I came back to uni and then joined the center as well. So all in all, I think it's been a huge and amazing experience for me because I've gained academically, I've gained knowledge a whole
Yeah.
lot in terms of work experience. Yeah, thankfully my CV right now is looking good. And so yeah, I think it's been personally from my experience, it's been amazing. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you so much for that. We kind of have couple of a couple of questions. Please just give me a moment.
Okay.
I'll grab the questions. Um, as a Nigerian student, right? As an international student, rather, not just as a Nigerian. So, an international student. Um, I'm not sure if you had any problems while studying, but were they accessible tools for you to use for any issues that maybe you had while studying?
Well, yes, that's a good question. Well, yeah, as an international student, first of all, yeah, that again, going back to what I said earlier, That's another good thing about Into or the study center. That's another good thing about the study center, because the study center understands that you're coming from a totally different background. They understand that things are different in Nigeria. It's not the same academic style, if you may. So they give you all of those things. They give you those trainings. They give you those tools. Well, in terms of accessibility tools, yeah, any tool you need. I can't really think of any tool that I needed back then, but just know that whatever you need here will be provided. Essentially,
Okay.
they provide reasonable adjustments in terms of, because obviously different people have different learning styles. So if someone needs an adjustment to be able to learn, it is provided definitely reasonably. And so yeah, going through the center. So let me go this way. If you go straight to the university, the lecturers don't know you. They don't know where you're from, if that makes sense. They don't really know your background. They just know that you are here to study, right? So everything, they treat every student the same way at the university.
Yeah.
They essentially treat you the same way, give you the same level of courses. If you have questions, you could ask and whatnot. But here at the center, everyone is an international student. So first of all, you connect with people of the same level of experience with you. You connect with them, and then that transition, it really happens here. Essentially, that transition, yeah, and everything. So yeah, they provide every reasonable adjustment that you need
Right.
and accessibility.
Okay. All right. Amy, I know that you spoke about entry requirements, but especially for English, I'm not sure if Sterling has any specific um, English requirements for international students, especially for Nigerians. I don't want to assume. It's best to always ask questions so that everybody's on the same page. So, what's acceptable for English tests? What's acceptable for English test standards? And do you guys provide any sort of testing for maybe students who don't meet those requirements?
Yeah, it's a good question. I feel like there's a lot of different answers. So I would say in general, it really does depend on which route you're coming to the university. So a lot of times, if you're coming for a master's and you're going straight to the university, we normally will recognize your previous study in English. But if you're coming for a pre-master's, because it's a different level, we normally do ask for a IELTS or IELTS equivalent test to be eligible for your visa. So it's not necessarily an academic requirement, but it's for your visa requirement. Same for the undergraduate studies. So at undergraduate studies, we do ask usually for a IELTS. I would say if you can do a UKVI IELTS, that is the visa one. That's the one that the people giving your visa really appreciate. But normally, if
Yeah.
you're looking to do a foundation, just our foundation, so undergraduate, you've come out of high school, maybe you don't know if you want to go to Stirling or if you want to go somewhere else. Our IELTS is usually starting at 4.5 overall with no skill less than 4.0. If you're looking for an ICAS, usually we're looking at a higher level. It depends on how long you want to study. A 4-term is usually a 5.0, no score less than 5.0. If you're looking at doing a 3-term, which is a shorter foundation with us, or if you're looking to do that integrated 2 years, so you have a really short study path to get your undergraduate degree, it's usually 5.5 with no skill less than 5.5. So it is a bit nuanced, depends what you want to do. It's pretty clear on our website if you do start to have a look at our foundation and pre-master options. You can see if I do 3 terms, 4 terms, if I'm doing a 1-year foundation or a year 2 entry foundation, it'll be clear. And you can see for Nigeria what those academic requirements are. So we do accept WIAC and NECO, so that makes things a lot easier because I know
I
some
was going
direct
to ask that.
universities don't take those. Yeah, we do take them.
Okay, all right, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. We do have a question that just popped in from Omowumi. Thank you so much for joining. She's asking if one is going through pre-masters, then masters afterward, can you come with your dependents or just you alone?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Unfortunately, our masters are not at the level to allow dependents in the UK. So anyone coming for a pre-masters or even directly to the university for a master's, because they're top masters, would not be eligible for dependents on their visas. So we look for usually PhD level is eligible for dependents.
Okay, all right. Omomi, I hope that was able to answer your question. Something some of our students are interested in knowing, because I mean, you did go through it before in your presentation, but just for extra emphasis, are there accommodation provisions for international students?
Yeah, I think that's something I very lightly touched on. So it's a good question. Yes, I would say half of our campus is dedicated to accommodation. So we offer accommodation on campus. So 5 minute walk from all your classes, 10 minute walk, depending on if your one maybe happens to be further away from class, because we do have a lot of options on campus. We also have in the city accommodation available to you as well. It's about 10 minutes on the bus from that accommodation to the campus. So you're not far away at all. It's not a long commute. So we offer kind of different price points. We have more expensive options that have ensuite bathrooms. We have more affordable options where you might share a bathroom. But all of our accommodation is single bedroom. So if you're living in university accommodation, you don't have to worry about sharing your bedroom or your study space with anyone. That is your private bedroom. But we have apartment style. We call them flats in the UK, but it's apartment style living. So you would share a kitchen, living room, bathrooms. But we do have cleaners that come in to make sure everything is kept nice for everybody, nice and clean.
Okay, all right. I think there is one more question. The question is on student support services. So aside from CV and career, are there other support services available for international students?
Yeah, there is. So our support services operate through what we call our student hub, and the student hub is like a one-stop shop. You can email them or you can walk up and speak to them in person during kind of operating hours and say, this is my issue, how can I get help? And they'll get the right team in place. But we have a student welfare team. They are professional counselors that are completely free to access and fully qualified to provide welfare support. So students may be struggling for feeling a bit homesick, a bit overwhelmed. I definitely felt like that when I arrived. It takes a little bit of time to find your feet when you move to a new country. They're there to be accessed at any point. We also have our student finance advisors. So we have a whole team that can help with the finance side of things. They can advise you on different resources, even things as simple as like budgeting. If you've never had to live by yourself and you don't know how to budget and like how to organize your financial life, which is also an adjustment for people, especially if you're coming right out of high school, they can help
Yep.
with things like that. We do have a doctors and dentist on campus as well. So students that are living on university accommodation or close to the campus, even if you're in private accommodation, usually you can register with our doctors and dentist on campus. We've got, trying to remember all of them, our student careers, finance, welfare. And we also have our student union. So the kind of group that organizes our clubs and societies also has support there for students as well. So they'll have a student welfare officer, a sports officer, someone for postgraduate students, someone for international students, someone for undergraduate students. They can be a really good resource, especially peer-to-peer support for kind of helping you. If you are staying in university accommodation, there's also 24-hour staff support there and accommodation liaison students. So again, peer-to-peer support. Sometimes it's just a case of speaking to somebody and they can signpost you to the right people. But I think that reminds me, the last one I'm forgetting is our academic support. So there's kind of different ways you can access academic support. We have in what we call in-sessional support. So any student who needs assistance for English language top-up or academic skills, even after you leave the International Study Centre or you're another international student that has come directly to the university, the International Study Centre staff actually provide extra learning support, tutoring really, to students during their semesters once they're fully integrated to the university. So that support is there. And then we also have like one-to-one appointments you can make with academic advisors that sit within the university that can help with essay writing, note-taking. They help with all kinds of things, really. When I was a student, they helped me write with my writing because I kept on like getting okay grades, but I really wanted to get good grades, and I just couldn't figure out what was preventing it. I was getting notes back from the academics, but I just couldn't crack what it was. And it was really around my writing style. I was writing like an American student and how I've been taught in America, but actually they were looking for me to transfer that to the British system. So even though the American system is very similar, it just wasn't quite hitting the same like percentage of facts that they wanted, percentages of references that they wanted, and use as a guide and what they expect. So I use them to just kind of bump up those grades because I wanted to have better grades. I think my parents as well, they wanted me to have better grades. So definitely, definitely use that service when I was a student.
That's definitely wonderful. Because that's not something that we have here in Nigeria. Academic, no, that's not something that a lot of schools here have. So I mean, it's a wonderful addition to having to study at your university. There is a question that is more cost specific. Do you have programs, masters by research programs that would allow a student migrate with their dependents?
Their dependents. Not that I'm aware of. I can double check with the university and I can get back to you. And then you can have that information to share with everyone that you have contacts with. My understanding is that they are not, because they traditionally, and my information might be out of date, but it used to be that even though it's mastered by research, you were focusing on your research skills, but 60% of the overall degree was still taught in terms of you're going to class, you have syllabi, you're writing essays. And because 60% of those degrees were always taught, it did not qualify as a pure research degree. So dependents traditionally were not allowed on those degrees at Stirling. But I can double check.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, no problem. So, I mean, once we have that information, I think then we can disseminate it to our audience. But nonetheless,
absolutely.
it's fine. Thank you so much. So I feel it's actually the best because we have both you and Emmanuel, because both of you actually started as international students. So I'd like to ask the both of you, what advice would you give international students that are kind of sitting on the fence as to should I come, should I not come? If you could give like a final word of advice, to encourage them to come over to Stirling, because you guys actually do have a lot to offer. What would you say to them? I'll start with you, Amy, and then we'll go to Emmanuel.
I think I think I would want to know like what is the hesitation. I think for me, I was an American student that was looking for an American experience outside of America, if that makes sense. And I think one thing that I really, really liked about Stirling and what I was looking for is a place that was a real sense of community. So like when you see TV in America, like people have like the branded hoodies, so it says like the university on their sweatshirts, and they have like walking around with coffee, saying hi to everybody. I feel like that's what Stirling really had to offer, because the way the campus is set up is everything is really visible. Like all your classmates, all your academics, all the support services, is all on your doorstep, and everyone is so friendly and helpful, that it really gives you that, like, I feel like that American experience in the UK, because you get to like just know everybody and really, really get looked after and be part of a campus that is just really a really lovely place to be. And I felt like having that worry taken away from me, I would definitely recommend if you're worried about like what's it going to be like will I make friends, will I be okay, will I settle? I feel like Stirling can take that worry away because it's set up for you to succeed in that aspect of life. So it gives you all the focus that you need to be able to focus on your studies and be successful in your studies. So I would say that, yeah, if you're looking at a place where you can really focus on your academics, get the best grades that you can, and succeed, we're set up as a university that's going to make sure that happens for you.
Thank you so much, Amy. Emmanuel, please, your advice for our international students.
Yeah, so for anyone sitting on the fence, I would say definitely go for it. 100% definitely go for it. Because first of all, so I'm Nigerian, obviously, and so I have a first-hand experience of both Nigeria and here. So first of all, there's so many opportunities out here. So many, at least for me, studying software engineering, there are so many opportunities that I wouldn't get in a sense if I studied in Nigeria. So if you're sitting on the fence, definitely go for it. And something I didn't mention the other time is even while studying here in Stirling, I studied in America as well. I had a study abroad exchange program. So I was able to go study in America. You can do that. You can go study in another country for a semester or for a whole year. So I did study in America, which was really exciting. So there are so many opportunities out here, so many. So if you're sitting on the fence, if you're trying to decide, is this right for me? Is this not right for me? I can tell you it's right for you, right? There's no, I wouldn't say there's any loss because I remember speaking with you guys a few years back, probably 5 years ago or something, and
Yeah.
I received the same advice, like go for it. Stellan is really nice, blah blah blah. At that time, I wasn't really sure because at that time, oh, I just wanted to go to America. It was America or nothing. Then I just received the advice, go study in Stirling, go. Then I was like, okay, fair enough. I went for it. And when I came here, there were so many opportunities. I saw those opportunities and I went for all of them, every single opportunity. So if you're trying to decide, if you're trying to make up your mind, oh, is this right for me? Is this not right for me? It's right for you. Definitely go for it because those opportunities are there. And if you eventually go for it, immerse yourself into those opportunities because obviously they won't bring them to you. You have to take yourself to them. So definitely take advantage of everything around you.
Yeah.
So that would be my little advice to anyone who's trying to decide.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like if you're proactive in the opportunities, like yeah, you can do like you can achieve so much because the opportunities are there, but be proactive. And I would say if you're not sure how to be proactive and how to take advantage of those, like just ask. That's what we're here to do. Like we've got so many experts in so many different ways that like if you're not sure and you ask, like we'll get you the information so you can take those opportunities and you'll be like Emmanuel and do cool internships and work with us and have an amazing career already.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't studied in Stirling, but my only answer to my audience would be if you are seeing this, this is your sign to contact us so that we can get you into Stirling. I don't know what you guys are waiting for, but this is literally your sign. I don't know what else you're waiting for. If you're seeing this, it's your sign. Thank you so much, Amy and Emmanuel, for joining us on this live session. It was so much fun. I had a lovely time hearing about your experiences and all that Sterling has to offer. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for this. Also, our lovely audience, thank you so much for joining us. Please, if you are seeing this, it's your sign. Contact us. You can follow us on all our social media platforms on Instagram. We're available on Facebook. We're also on LinkedIn as well. You can send us an email. We will answer you any way you decide that you would like to contact us. So please take this as your sign and run and contact us. Sterling, we have people that are waiting for you. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Amy and Emmanuel. Thank you guys so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thanks, everyone. Hope to see
Thank
you in
you.
Stirling soon.
Yeah, hope
Bye.
to see you all soon.
All
Bye.
right. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah,
Bye.
you too. Bye.
Bye.